Hey baddies, welcome back to the Baddest You podcast, where every listen takes you to the baddest version of yourself. I am your baddie mindset coach, Ambria, and in today's video, we are talking about how your relationship with others directly reflects your relationship with yourself. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria. Follow the Baddest You on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And let's get into this week's episode. So your relationship with others actually mirrors your relationship with yourself. A lot of people, when they are in connections with other people, they feel a lack of control. They feel like things are not really in their hands, that they don't have the ability to create the connections they want. And a lot of times they find themselves relying on past situations or circumstances to dictate how situations will be moving forward. So if they were cheated on multiple times in a relationship in the past, they think they'll be cheated on in this next relationship. If they were betrayed by a friend in the past, they're afraid to form new connections with other women because they fear they might be betrayed in the future. But what if I told you guys that your relationship with others is more in your hands than you realize, and you don't have to find yourself panicking, rather be more in control of yourself. So your self-concept, right, baddies, we already know is your perception of yourself, and people subconsciously pick up on how you view yourself. If you see yourself as a person that deserves respect, people will respect you because you will carry yourself accordingly, you will have boundaries, you will treat yourself like a person that deserves respect, and others will do the same. But if you see yourself as a person that doesn't really deserve a lot of love, and you're lucky if you get to be in this other person's energy, people will subconsciously pick up on that by seeing your actions and the way you show up and treat you like you don't really matter. And so that's why it's so important, baddies, to make sure you have a great connection with yourself first before trying to engage with other people, right? You are the one to impress. You hold all of the power. You are the main character. It is a privilege and honor to be in your presence. And the second, baddies, that you start treating yourself as such, your life will start completely changing in your favor. So the first thing you need to know when it comes to other people mirroring your self-concept is that whatever it is that you believe about yourself, you will create a self-fulfilling prophecy in that direction. Once again, right? So if you find yourself thinking that you're ugly and you're walking down the street and you see somebody looking at you, you're gonna assume based on how you feel about yourself that they think that you're ugly. You're gonna think they're judging you or think they're giving you a dirty look. When in reality, they could be thinking, wow, like she's so pretty. And this is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. She's so pretty. And it's like, instead of you smiling back, you're ducking your head, you're looking anxious, you're looking insecure, and you're walking away. And now you're being perceived as insecure. And that's what a self-fulfilling prophecy is. It's when you create a reality based on an assumption that you have, and you fulfill a prophecy that you believe about yourself and project a self-belief onto other people. Okay, baddies? So you have to be intentional with your perception of yourself at all times. That's like the main key here. That's the main component you have to understand, that it does not matter what other people think of you because people view you the way that you view yourself. Your self-concept overrides everything. So instead of trying to see if other people like you, instead of trying to see if you can trust other people, see that you can trust yourself. See that you are an amazing person that deserves amazing connections. Have boundaries with yourself where you're not going to allow yourself to tolerate less than you deserve in relationships. You're not going to allow yourself to chase another person or to seek another person's approval because you already know your worth. Right, baddies? When it comes to other people mirroring your self-concept, you have to decide this is who I am and commit to that belief about yourself, regardless of what the world around you shows you. Because a lot of times when people experience treatment for other people, especially negative treatment, they internalize that and feel less about themselves. And they feel like they don't deserve love, or they only can get cheated on, or they only can be betrayed. But what if I told you other people's inadequacies have absolutely nothing to do with you? And if you stop taking things personal and you start becoming more focused on your own journey, your own self-concept, you valuing yourself, you not allowing yourself to try to be in other people's energy who are not valuing you, you will start to have a much better experience. So try not to create a self-fulfilling prophecy of assuming, oh, this person's not valuing me, I'm just gonna block them before they ghost me, right? Because someone ghosted you in the past. Or assuming, oh, I'm not gonna have the money, so I'm just gonna freak out and panic about it instead of trusting that the divine's got your back. You have to be intentional with deciding, I deserve the best things in life, and I'm gonna trust the best case scenario no matter what the world around me shows me, because I know my worth and I deserve the best. So you have to ask yourself, like, am I showing up for myself? Instead of trying to beg or chase or make other people give you what you deserve in relationships, it's really about filling up your cup first. One of my biggest beliefs is that you should not be craving anything from anybody that you're not giving yourself. You shouldn't be seeking validation from someone else if you're not already giving yourself compliments. You shouldn't be seeking love from someone else if you're not loving yourself. You shouldn't be seeking finances from someone else if you are not taking care of yourself financially. The more you fill up your cup, the more the world around you will fill up your cup. The less desperate you are, the less anxious you are, the more you know your worth, the more the world around you will give you what you deserve because you know your value. So how can you show up for yourself better? Are you working out? Are you going to the gym? Are you doing doing your daily walk? Are you drinking your water? Do you have a good sleeping routine? Are you waking up and the first thing you're doing is scrolling on your phone? Are you reading books? Are you looking at self-development content online? Do you have goals for yourself? Are you showing up as the version of yourself that has reached your desires, that has your goals in hand? Or are you sitting and victimizing yourself, stressing? Do you have other people at the center of your life, right? You have to be intentional with how you are showing up in life. Like, you are the top priority. You are the one to impress. You have to decide, this is where I'm headed in life. This is my top priority. I'm focused on bettering myself. I'm focused on reaching my goals. I'm focused on being the absolute best version of myself. And I simply do not have time for anything less. So if you want to start really stepping into a new self-concept and caring less about other people's energy and really getting the connections you deserve, be the person with what you want, right? So some of you guys could be like, Ambria, I hear you, but I don't even have any friends. Go outside, right? You're not going to find your friends in your closet. Literally, like, you have to make an effort to show up as a baddie that has friends. Go take yourself on solo dates. You could be like, well, I'm still single. Go outside, right? Go get a dating app. Go take yourself out. Whatever it is you need to do. Like, ask yourself, the version of me that has what I want in my life, like, how is that version of myself showing up? And show up in that direction. And I promise you, you will see your entire life shift for the better, because you're actually taking the right steps in order to create the results that you want, instead of sitting and victimizing yourself. If you want to be chosen, choose yourself. If you want to be valued, value yourself. Ask yourself, the most valued version of myself, how would they show up right now? A lot of times people feel the need to chase connections, prove themselves, try to earn someone's love. But what if I told you, giving yourself the love you deserve will make other people love you? Treating yourself with respect, setting boundaries, saying no, walking away from situations that aren't serving you will make other people respect you. Other people are simply mirroring your relationship to yourself. So if you feel like you're being neglected in relationships, it's probably because you're neglecting yourself by chasing somebody who's neglecting you, right? Or if you feel like you're being mistreated, it's because you're mistreating yourself by overvaluing someone who's mistreating you. You're chasing them. You're putting them first. You're self-abandoning yourself. You're still thinking about their needs. You're still trying to earn their love. And this can be in a friendship sense, a family sense, a relationship sense, and so on. So you have to be intentional. Like, ask yourself, okay, am I valuing myself? Am I treating myself like a person of value? And you really have to ask yourself too, like, who's most important, right? Is it me or that person? My self-love, my experience matters most, and I don't need anybody else's energy to try to get what I want in life. I don't need anyone else to tell me I'm pretty. I don't need anyone else to give me money. I don't need anybody else to make me feel like the baddest to ever do it. I can do that for myself. And especially if you are the type of person that has mental health issues, or you find yourself needing to rely on others, I'm not saying that it's not important to have connections with other people. I am saying, though, that you should make sure you're strengthening your relationship with yourself first, so you're not tolerating anything less than you deserve when connecting with other people. So the next thing you guys have to understand, right, is that you do not have to worry about how other people perceive you. What if I told you that you are not here to impress other people? Your job is not to come here and make other people happy. Your job is to make yourself happy. Your job is to fill up your own cup. Your job is to show up for yourself. You are the one to impress. This is your life. Give yourself permission to be the main character. Claim that position. Root yourself in this inner truth that I am a queen or a king. I deserve to sit on my throne. I have a crown on my head, and I deserve to be treated with respect. Stop internalizing other people's actions as, oh, they're talking about me. There's something wrong with me. Oh, they cheated on me. There's something wrong with me. Oh, I'm not being chosen. Anything that's not choosing you is losing you immediately. Teach yourself to stop caring. Teach yourself to start being bored. And when you first have like an anxious attachment style, you'll find yourself chasing at first when people pull back, right? And these are things that insecure people do to try to like gain attraction or gain like connections with people that are unhealthy, right? They'll pull back, they'll stonewall you, they'll be like narcissistic. But what if I told you that you're the main common denominator when it comes to any relationship? If you are dealing with circumstances like that, it's because you feel worthy of that experience. You are not a victim. You are not stuck. Stand up. You have to decide, I deserve better than this. And in the moment, it may be hard because you may feel like you're used to chasing to get what you want. But what if I told you your existence is more than enough already to get the love that you deserve? Your existence is more than enough to get the respect that you deserve. Your existence is more than enough to get everything that you want. And if you see yourself living a life and like no one's giving what you deserve, you're not feeling valued, you're not feeling respected, it's because you have to give yourself permission to be a new version of yourself. First step is you choosing you. I no longer tolerate connections where I'm not being valued. I no longer find myself chasing people who are not prioritizing me. I no longer find myself trying to earn my spot in people's lives. I'm the one to impress. Like, you have a new self-concept. You have a new identity. Own it, right? Because it's your greatest superpower when you start showing up for yourself in life, and people will start treating you with that respect. The only people who are not going to like you are the people who are taking you for granted and taking advantage of you, right? They always saw your worth, but they didn't want you to know your worth, because if you knew your worth, you wouldn't be dealing with these people in the first place. So remember, baddies, take everybody else off off a pedestal. You are this amazing individual who deserves to be on the pedestal in your own life. Yes, it's cool to give to other people. Yes, it's cool to have other connections with others, but make sure that these connections reflect the love and the respect that you have for yourself first. And you do not owe anybody your time, your attention, your focus, none of that. If they're not giving you the respect, nothing else matters. Cut them off. Or don't give them your energy. Or simply focus more on yourself. Okay, baddies? So just remember that. People are treating you the way you treat yourself. When you start valuing yourself, there may be a time period where other people might be a little frustrated or think, oh, like you think you're all that. Or even just like you find yourself being in an isolation period and you don't have that many friends. But when I tell you, baddies, it is so worth it to go through these time periods, because when you come out the other side, you're gonna have brand new friendships, brand new connections. You're gonna respect yourself. You're gonna have a much more fulfilled life because you're focused on your hobbies and building yourself up and going to the gym, right? And being this better version of yourself. And you have more money, you have more access to the things you actually want, right? And just remember, like, if you are not the version of yourself that you wanna be, try your best to not force connections, because as you continue to evolve, you will naturally align with the life that you truly deserve. So if you're in a place in life where you're not happy with where you're at, the last thing you want to do is run into another person to avoid your life. You want to sit, you want to fix your life, you want to think, okay, the me that has what I want, how can I show up? You want to lock in, you want to focus, and you want to prioritize that. Okay, baddies, why? Because you are most important. So just remember, your relationship with others reflects your relationship with yourself. Treat yourself like a person of value. Have boundaries. Accept only the best out of life. Only be available for the best out of life. Take everybody else off a pedestal. You are the one to impress. And remember that what's most important is not gaining a connection with another person. What's most important is your relationship with yourself as you're dealing with another person. Am I valuing myself? Am I happy? Do I feel secure? That's what matters most. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Baddest You podcast. Make sure to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria Hearty. Follow the Baddest You on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode. Bye, baddies.